Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at something a little bit different.
Definitely different.
Yeah, we've got a single source document for this one. And, well, the title's pretty straightforward, godofThunder.pdf. But
Itchy.
Yeah, catchy for sure. But when we actually look at the content of the document itself, it's not really an article or an essay or anything like that.
No, it's much more like maybe notes from a brainstorming session or just like a stream of consciousness almost.
Yeah, and it's all about power,
Right.
influential figures, but it's kind of jumbled up, and there are some really unusual connections being made. So
Definitely.
our mission today is to try to untangle some of these thoughts and see if we can make sense of what the author is trying to get at.
Sounds like a challenge.
Oh, it is, for sure, but it should be a fun one.
Okay.
So right off the bat, we see this list of names.
And it's quite a list.
It's like Zeus,
The Greece god.
right alongside like
Modern day political leaders.
yeah, like Trump, Putin, Xi Jinping, Kim Jong-un.
It's an interesting mix.
And then there's this mention of all the Indian Ocean president, and I'm pretty sure they meant to write ocean there.
Yeah, I think it's safe to assume that was a typo.
But even with the misspelling, it kind of makes you wonder what the author had in mind. Were they thinking about like a specific region
Or maybe a type of leadership that's common to a certain area.
Yeah, exactly. And then the words God and thunder,
Yeah.
those appear over and over again throughout the document.
Almost like a mantra.
Yeah, it's almost like they're trying to connect those concepts in some way, divine power, with
earthly leadership.
exactly.
It makes me think about how certain leaders throughout history have been seen as almost godlike, larger than life figures who command.
All in respect.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe even fear in some cases.
Yeah, and it made me think about how even today we use the word thunder to describe someone who's really powerful or influential. Like that CEO really made his voice thunder in the boardroom.
That's a great example.
So do you think that's what the author is getting at, this idea that powerful people are like forces of nature? They can shake things up and
Disrupt the status quo.
yeah, and they can be really hard to control or predict.
Like a thunderstorm.
Exactly. Now, about halfway through the document, we come across this question. It says, "Who is the next powerful man in the world?" Question mark.
Interesting that they specify man.
Right, and it makes you think about all the assumptions that are baked into our ideas about power and leadership.
Historically, it's almost always been men who have held positions of power, but things are changing.
They are.
And it makes you wonder if the author considered figures like Angela Merkel or Indira Gandhi when they wrote this.
Or even someone who hasn't even entered the political arena yet, someone we haven't even heard of.
Exactly. I mean, if power really is like thunder, it can strike anywhere at any time.
So we've got this document that's raising a lot of questions about power and leadership, and it's not giving us any easy answers.
But maybe that's okay.
Yeah, maybe it's more about getting us to think critically about these concepts and to question our assumptions.
And to be open to new possibilities.
Right, because the world is changing rapidly, and the people who hold power are changing too.
So if power really is like thunder, is it always a destructive force? Or can it be harnessed for good?
Yeah.
Can it be used to create positive change in the world?
That's a great question, and one that I think we'll be grappling with for a long time to come.
Definitely a lot to think about.